Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.
Edwards. Edwards! They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby.
Welcome in to Wolves After Dark, everybody, or Dilly After Dark. Timberwolves lose 117-111 in overtime in a really kind of wild game. Lots of back and forth. We were down by 18. We went up by like 5 or 6 or something like that. And I really believed for a moment. If you're new here, like the stream, subscribe to the stream, and I guess that's it. That's all you need to do. Also, I put a poll up there of what do you think Dillingham's grade should be in the tier list. So feel free to do that as well. Frustrating loss. Şengün is just unstoppable, apparently, against Rudy. How are you feeling after this game, Ashwin?
I don't actually know how to feel. I think I was pretty lost as a Timberwolves fan for a lot of that opening half. It was nice to see Dillingham come in early and get some burn. I think he was the spark for both halves of the game to give us life. And I think that's a little embarrassing on literally every aspect except for Dillingham. Because, Conley, made the move, which is awesome, and then we don't play him, right? So what are we not seeing? I'm confused on that. And then we play him sparingly, and we look like inept, and we have no life out there. But he's the reason why we have some sort of injection of pace, and also we can run a play, we can run basketball plays. I think I'm losing faith in this experiment with Gobert and Randall out there on the court at the same time. Randall has moments where he's amazing. Randall has moments where he's absolutely unplayable. I think we saw mostly the latter tonight, despite his box score. And I think Gobert has been taking a back seat. I think he's not his form that he once was. And I'm seeing a lot of hero ball. I'm seeing a lot of just ball watching, not aggressively looking to get open. And it's resulting in lack of discipline, lack of opportunity, and taking advantages of nothing because we are losing every advantage. We're losing the 3-ball now to teams that don't shoot the 3-ball as well as we do. We're losing the free throw battle. We're losing the paint battle. We're losing the rebound advantage. Our defense, where did that go? Why is Dylan Brooks clamping us, compared to we clamping them? I think it's a little, it puts me on edge a little as a Timberwolves fan. However, Cameron, that was a really exciting, late third quarter, fourth quarter run. And it pretty much was all because of Dillingham. And am I just a masochist? Am I just wanting the pain so that we can see the youth movement? So we can see another fucking rebuild? Because
I know
the young dudes really inspire me and give me a lot of joy.
Mm-hmm.
I want Terrence Shannon Jr. out there right now. I want to see what we have, because otherwise, what the fuck are we doing with all these pieces that we're not playing?
Yeah.
Cameron, how are you feeling?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad that we lost, but I'm so happy that I got to experience Dillingham. I mean, that was so fun. I can't believe he only scored 12 points. It felt like 30. And he was just, his plus minus, he's plus 26 in a game where all of our other players are minus 20. That's crazy. I think, I've been the one that's been trying to be somewhat calm this season and trying to stay. And I still do believe that this is just a down year for us. I believe that since day one. But this game is frustrating for me in so many ways because, this is leading up to this game, but as you're mentioning, Chris Finch's avoidance of using the young guys, super frustrating. And finally getting him to see Dillingham for the last 2 games inject offense into our team and speed into our team has been really nice. But then Dillingham doesn't start for overtime. And, I could understand him not starting and giving him a minute breather or something like that because he's been out there a decent amount. But
garbage time and overtime.
He came in at 49 seconds left. What the heck? It's just so stupid. And And then, last game we talked about we wanted Ant to be taking the shots in the fourth quarter. But I don't want him, as Zach is saying here, I don't want him getting grenades. Also, I feel like some of the time his shots that he was taking were just like, well, this isn't really any thought process. I don't want you just chucking. Like, I want you getting a shot. And then there was times where he would get a shot. Like he had one where he dribbled into like the free throw line. And I'm like, brother, is that your move? Like, I've talked about this comparing Ant to other superstars, and it's like, well, superstars have their spots that they just hit from a majority of the time. And Ant does these things in the fourth quarter and all game where he just kind of makes from everywhere or tries from everywhere. And there's very little consistency other than this year shooting from three. So it's just like, I don't know. It seems like he doesn't have like a go-to move, a go-to shot, he has a go-to chuck is what he has. So, which is kind of fun sometimes when it goes in, but it's not something that's sustainable. The Randall and Dante things, I'm just getting super frustrated with that right now because it just feels like there's no purpose. And I understand Cat is doing amazing in New York. I know that's difficult to understand. It's like a nuanced situation though, because he's got a different team over there. They're running the ball through him more. He would not be scoring 30 points a game with us right now. That's just not what would be happening. We would be seeing a lot of the Randall-esque mistakes that were happening right now because the Randall-esque mistakes were really Cat-esque mistakes where he's like pressing up defensively on people, fouling them in moments where we just absolutely do not want to foul. Everything's kind of coming together at the same time and in a bad way. And I feel like we've just got to have something figured out. And, we're starting Dante still, and he's just been nothing. Dante's just been so bad. Really, the only thing that's a bright spot, and Rudy just looks old and his hands are just so bad. He's just so bad. The only bright spots that I really found tonight, I mean, Ant had an okay game, I guess, but really it was like Dillingham and Naz Reid. Naz Reid had a pretty good game tonight, but just disappointing. And we have another game tomorrow. And the thing that I wish
we do
is how much do we care about, like, how much do the players care about a game like an NBA Cup game? I can't imagine it's much more than a regular season game, but if it is, then it's super alarming. If they care more about these games and we're playing this bad to start like how we did, I hate that. So that's my vent session. And yeah, Chris Finch, it's more than just Dillingham. I mean, there's just so many things that are happening now where it's like, I mean, we used our last timeout. I get that Ant was hurt, but we had no timeouts for the last 4 minutes in the game. That's like either a crazy blunder. I don't know. I mean, even if Ant's hurt, it's like, we'll just make him, have him miss a free throw or something. Like, just too many decisions from Finch and that's the point that I was going to get to. I've been patient about the team. I've been whatever. I think this is a down year. But Finch, I feel like it's getting to a point where it's like, I can't defend this anymore. Like, he's just been so bad with rotations, so bad with decision making. I don't trust him that much anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack. This time last year, maybe like right before the season, we were in Abu Dhabi together. We're riding camels. The vibes are positive. We're on this international road trip to like kind of bond and not just eat lasagna in some bomb's basement. I think also the kind of chemistry was there because, you have a bona fide superstar in Cat taking a backseat willingly. Maybe not making the right plays, but definitely not taking away from anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think we're seeing it shine in New York, just like how he's been being utilized. Another big shift. I think I am privy to this. When I am kind of like forced to do something, I'll do it in spades, right? When I'm asked to like think about doing something, I'll do it the very last second because I'm a procrastinator or I have to go live and talk about a sports team or something. What I mean by that is Dante DiVincenzo probably looked like a hero in New York because of the methodical nature of that team, putting you in your spots and not really deviating too far. Also playing up to your strengths and not necessarily making you look like ass.
Yeah.
Now, in this kind of regime or this franchise with Finch, as you just mentioned, you're kind of asked to say, "Hey, you're smarter than the average bear. Play how you feel.
Mhm.
Play to certain paradigms and kind of allocate your strength and resources here." But like, maybe allow Sengun to just do whatever the fuck he wants, and allow Dylan Brooks to pop off for 18 points, and just play by instinct. Sometimes you need that enforcer like coach and like to drill in the way that like Thibodeau
Yeah.
got the best out of Levine and Gorgie Jang, which I don't know why I'm mentioning this. Like Finch isn't really getting the most out of any of these players right now. I think Naz Reid has moments where he's amazing because he's just a shooter and the shots go in, and that's amazing.
Mhm.
It's remarkable that he plays up to his capabilities in that regard. When Dante is not shooting and is not making shots, what is he? When Jaden is 1 for 1,000 from 3, like it's great.
Yeah.
It's cool that you went for that putback dunk, but you're getting blocked because there's 4 people down in the paint. Like there could have been other things that could have happened in that play in those closing seconds. And I just want to say really quickly, maybe the reason why Julius Randle had his best year under Finch in New Orleans or whatever is because he
Mhm.
was allowed to just play
Yeah.
and not think.
Yeah.
Because
Stu-
under Finch, under the new Finch, but also under Tibbs, Julius had a lot of like control issues where he was babied and then he's also coddled and then he's also told what to do and he's like pouting about it. He doesn't get back on D. He doesn't play to his strengths. He's getting abused, and he has a really killer game when it's about him. I feel like my
Yeah.
diatribe is about to end, but now in this current era with Finch, with Randall, with Ant, we are finding ourselves, and we can't wait. The clock is 0. We have lost. We're down
Yeah.
to a Houston Rockets team who doesn't really have an all-star. Like they might have a couple, but like, Fred VanVleet is not anything like Ant, and Sengun
Yeah.
is not anything like a Gobert. That's as weird as that fucking sounds. And we're under 500. The time is 0, meaning like shot clock violation. We have run out of time.
Yeah.
The early season woes no more. The chemistry issues are glaringly obvious. I have so much to say and continue to unpack, but basically like I don't know where we're headed if we're not taking advantage of like some of the strengths that we have now found with Dillingham, Ant
Yeah.
together. And I really think there might need to be a move made earlier than the trade deadline just to get this ship back on track.
Yeah. I think it's going to take the year. And hopefully you can make the best out of the year and maybe you can make it into the playoffs somehow, whether it's the play in or just a low seed or something like that. But I do just think that this is just going to be a down year. You have to, I mean, the point of the cat move wasn't so that this year we would be better than we were last year. The point of the cat move was so that we would be better for the next 5 to 7 years. So, or have a chance to be better in the next 5 to 7 years. So that that's just a reality that we're going to have to face. And I just hope, I do think that there is a point now where we kind of just have to break and be like, okay, well, we're going to have to play more rookies. And like maybe Finch's brain will just like be like, okay, I can't resist anymore. Like I have to play them. And maybe we'll get Terrence Shannon Jr. But yeah, it's just, it's bad. Also, like the Rockets played so bad down the stretch of this game, so bad,
Dude,
we couldn't take advantage.
We were up by 5 max, but we were really up by 2 because Fred VanVleet finally hit a 3 after going 1 for 12.
Yeah, yeah.
They played like ass. They were giving the game away to us.
Yeah, in the second half, they gave the game to us, and we said, okay, well, we'll get it close.
Dude,
and then when it got close, we're like, no, you guys have it. Like, even though you're handing it to us on a platter.
Yo, I wrote this in Discord. Shout out Discord every time. It's so awesome to be out there and just share our vibes with each other. But I felt this. I think we all felt it when Rob had the ball in his hands and he had that oop to Gobert and he had that layup and the rebound three. Oh my God, he's making plays for literally everyone.
Mm-hmm.
When the ball's in Randall's hands, he's making a play kind of, I think, actually only for himself.
Almost always,
He
yeah.
gets a charge and whatever nonsense. Gobert's out there taking up space where Randall wants to operate. They are still not on the same page in terms of Randall wants to go right and then turn left, and Gobert's in that space. Okay, so Gobert and Randall have their issues. That's okay. Go back to Rob. No, we go to Ant, and that's kind of typical and normal. But like Ant
Yeah.
took it over at the time where he was gassed and he did nothing.
Yeah.
Got to the free throw line, I think, a couple times, but he didn't do anything. The only time when we were actually kind of competent out there tonight, and I mean tonight, like all tonight, was when Dillingham had the ball in his hands.
For real.
Oh
I
my
mean-
God, that's so fucking embarrassing because he's a rookie who's barely had 100 minutes all season.
Yeah, and he's 19 years old. He's 19. It's just nuts. But anyways, we should get to the tier list. Let me share that. Was
Oh my God. Sit down, Rob. I feel like oh my God, we can't even tank command, man. Like we need these wins, man. It's incredible. And we also had no timeouts for 4.5 minutes. And I feel like, hey, if you're gonna start a game going down by like 17, why even show up that night? Like what's with the lack of urgency? You have to find your way into a game. It takes a whole half for Randall to get engaged because he was all right in the third quarter, but he was miserable, abysmal bottoms. It doesn't exist anymore, but bottoms for the first half.
yeah.
Gobert looked insanely outdated. And in the third quarter, they were like, he is outdated. They just like popped him. Sengun against Gobert was no contest. That's embarrassing on so many levels because you typically don't go one-on-one against Gobert. You rarely see it. But they were like, you know what? Let's just go because it's easy. That's so embarrassing for us as a franchise. So much so that we saw Gobert and Ant switch. Did you see that? Ant was guarding Sengun. Gobert was guarding Amen Thompson. My God. I don't know where we're going. I guess we're staying here because we're playing Sacramento tomorrow.
Yes.
I am scared shitless.
Yeah.
This could be like we could be 8-13 next week.
I think that's a real possibility.
And major red flags.
Yeah, it is.
It's tier list time. But it's also a shout out to all of you, 250 of you.
Dang, everybody's here.
It's incredible. We were just kind of talking, laughing to ourselves, being like, what the hell is happening? This season is becoming abysmal, and we're laughing and we're just enjoying each other's company,
Yeah. We're here for the best of time and the worst of times, but not really the medium of times. We don't really live for that. It's either 50-point losses or 50-point wins.
As we go into the weekend, kind of celebrating each other and community and family, make sure you take time to realize that this is just a hobby. You get the fuck out of here. Don't have to stay for the show. You have to stay for this whole game. This team is not doing anything for you, but it's awesome to have you guys all here.
Also, just a mental check for everybody, because I had to do this to myself during the game. When we started making that comeback, I started getting really invested, and then we started messing up, and then I got really mad. So, take a step back. Just remember, this is just basketball. We're just watching a sport.
That's true.
It's just a fun thing for us to do. I'm making it sound very easy because it's very difficult for me. But, just take a step back and realize that this is not the end of the world, but it is a mild frustration that we are going to go crazy in depth here in the tier list. So, who's up first in the tier list, or as Xavier says, tier list with a tear down?
Tier list. Well, Dante DiVincenzo gets the start, but he might as well be off the bench. Might as well be in Glenn Taylor tier. I'm going all over the place tonight. We're going to start with what Kenny says. We were on the Dante train, but he's not playing well or playing good. 1 for 5 from 3, 1 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3. Absolute nothing. So he had 3 assists, but he was next to zero out there on the court.
It was so bad. He looks so bad. I said in the Discord again. Shout out the Discord. Has Dante DiVincenzo played basketball before today? Because it certainly doesn't look like it. It's he looks so uncomfortable, and I know that it's just a chemistry thing, but he's so uncomfortable.
Good job, agent. Boost his trade value to the bottoms. And man, we could have we got something. We got some incredible value for Cat in the sense that we got off the the contract, and that's like money versus. We can have that conversation.
Yeah.
Another day, or we already have had that conversation. We miss Cat for sure, but like we got value with Dante and Randall, 2-for-1 package, and apparent value. Their value is now in the gutter. I don't even know what we can get for them. I think this is a Glenn Taylor performance, if not Wancho like performance from.
I'm putting it on Glenn Taylor. This has no feelings of getting better. Like. I don't even look at it and say, oh, you know what? Maybe there's a chance that this gets better. I mean, I believe that it can, but like, I don't like. It seems impossible at the moment, and I just have no hope. So I think it's Glenn Taylor.
TC, the value, we can talk about it. We've already talked about it. I think it was fair trade. Maybe because of Dante, we got a better. I think we looked better than we are now. But anyways, I'm going to move on to Julius Randle, the other piece of that trade. 35 minutes, 9 for 18 from the floor, 21 points, 6 assists, 5 fouls, 3 turnovers, might have been 10. You remember what I really loved about him was when he getting to the line and really slowing the game down and playing with pace and passing the ball and his dribble penetration. Wasn't doing fucking any of that. He's definitely pouting, bitching, playing against Dylan Brooks versus actually playing to win. Despite his empty stat box score, looking pretty good. He was awful. He was atrocious. He was D'Lo. He was Wancho. He was wherever you want to put him in.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't want to put him in Glenn Taylor, but like it was really bad. I probably Wancho. It's kind of ping ponging back and forth between looking decent for Randall and then just insane always. Wancho. Yeah, hollow numbers is the right way to put that. I think this is very accurate. I don't feel like any one of his buckets were super, other than one. There was one late where he got like a rebound and then put it back in to either put us up 3 or put us only down 1. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was down 1.
Yeah, and that felt like an impact bucket. But other than that, it's just like, just gross. Just gross. So, Wancho. And apparently I saw somebody say he looked sad in his post-game interview, so I was going to try to pull that up.
Oh, can't wait to watch Sad. What were we watching for 2.5 hours? But speaking of gross and sad and whatever, borderline anemic on the court, Jaden McDaniels, 40 minutes, 4 for 16 from the floor. That's maybe a season high in shots, and
you can't have a season high in shots on one of your season low in makes, like in the same game. That can't happen.
9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Pretty solid defense. But the most important stat, I think, was he was 100% open on literally 100% of his 3-point shots, and he was 1 for 8.
For real. And his feet just do this like happy dance every time he gets the ball. I think he actually travels every time he gets the ball for 3. This is just I've been a little bit more on the Jaden like hype bandwagon recently, but this is just like an unacceptable. You just can't have this happen for a player that's making that much money, especially when you're getting wide open shots. That's the exact purpose of you. Like you need to stretch the defense and prove, and give Ant more space, and give Randall more space, give everybody more space, because you just can't have 2 players like Jaden and Rudy out there that are not doing anything on offense. You can't. So Jaden McAirball.
Are you reading this caps lock?
Whoa.
Taylor completely overpaid something.
Whoa. I love this. Remember, this is a safe space for overreaction.
Safe space. You are allowed to say 100% what you want to feel.
Yeah.
Just don't take jabs at each other. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you can take jabs at us and the players, but not us, or not each other.
Yeah.
The
reason why I'm kind of like starting with the starters is that I think the bench was the reason why we're in this game tonight.
No, that's true. That's true.
I'm gonna go to Naz Reid, who had a bounce back performance after being.
Oh wait, Jaden, are we putting him Glenn Taylor? I mean, it was
Fuck yeah,
pretty
we
bad.
are.
Yeah.
Yes, it was awful, and I'm on the Jaden McDaniels train. Like I really like him as a. But it's not a prospect. Like he's not a prospect anymore. We're not waiting for him anymore. He needs to have already shown what he can be. He can be out there in the playoffs. He's been remarkable. The 26 points against Memphis, Game 6. You know the way he handled himself in Dallas was awesome. Okay, where's that fucking Jaden? You trimmed off your braids and you are a dad now, and it's just empty calories on the court on this. What court? Grass? What was it? Avocado? Lime green court.
Yes.
Okay, in case you didn't weren't knowing. So Naz Reid, 7 for 14 from the floor, 19.7 rebounds. That's what I want to fucking see from Naz Reid.
Yeah.
Despite you being off and on from 3, I can handle some of the misses, but if you can't just be a big body and offset some of the deficiencies with rebounding, like we need that from the bench, the way Brandon Clark, the way everyone has a big off the bench that like gets rebounds. This was awesome from Naz Reid. I actually kind of missed him in the fourth quarter. I think we went back to Julius Randle. Finch F.
Yeah.
Naz Reid was playing great, and I think Naz Reid with Dillingham there's like potentially some budding chemistry there too. So I thought this was a really stellar play, a B, if not like high B for me.
Yeah, I think high B probably makes sense. This was I loved it. I loved the effort early, and then the effort then led to buckets. So it's just like I just loved it. So yeah, I love to see him make some threes. Love to see him he has this ability to make this like crazy angle shot off the backboard, and I don't know how it works, but
right.
It's like I have so much trust in it because every time he throws it up there, I'm like, yeah, that's accurate. It's gonna go in. So yeah, no, I mean, this was a really good bounce back game for him. Obviously, we kind of expect this from him. Like, it's not like like this is sort of close to what we expect out of him. I mean, 19 points is really good for Naz, especially coming off the bench. But you know, this is more close to reality. He's just been really bad lately, so he gets a B.
You know, what's really funny is that they do definitely duplicate their skill talents in terms of Julius Randle and Naz in terms of dribble drive, potentially playmaking. Naz is a little bit more trigger happy than Julius is. Julius takes his time. You know what's really funny is that they both have that same awkward looking shot that's like off the rim that you were just talking about, or off the backboard. But Julius Randle's it bricks every time.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think he did that in the closing minutes too, and it was just very short. Well, I don't know what to say about Julius anymore because we're not on him anymore. But Naz was an awesome game. Coupled with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, bounce back performance near 100% from the floor, except for that bailout 3-pointer that they like play. They like were sick of having Jaden shoot, so they're like, "Hey, have someone else shoot," and they had not shoot at the end of the game, and that was abyss. And 13 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, kind of amazing all game. The best part of his game was that he didn't settle ever, and he was in every play. I don't know if like I can like trace and recall specific things, but I felt like he was really hustling and hurrying their star players. Jalen Green was like nothing tonight, you know?
Yeah, which is that is really good because he is somewhat of a Timberwolves killer, maybe not like the most of a Timberwolves killer, but he is. I mean, he's a very good player, and the ability to stop him is good. But yeah, I mean, I felt like this was a solid game. I don't really have like a ton to talk about with him, but you know, I'd probably be comfortable with like a B or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, let's move on. Because I think people are talking about things that matter more than what we are doing right now. But Rob Dillingham off the bench probably should be starting right now just because we need some jolt in the beginning of the game. Like, it's embarrassing to go down 12 against every fucking team in the league right now. Mm-hmm. Portland was maybe the series to be like, you know what, Finch, let's change everything. Those 2 games, and we didn't do anything. So Rob Dillingham off the bench. He started cold. I think he was 0 for 5, 0 for 6 from the field. He didn't stop, especially when he like missed 2 threes in a row. he kept going. 12 points, 7 assists, leading our team. 5 rebounds. Get the fuck out of here, Jaden McDaniels.
Yes.
Team high, plus 26. He's like 4'2".
Yeah, which apparently Google says he's 6'3", which is an absolute lie. That's not possible.
Yeah,
like he is definitely under 6 feet.
This guy's giving me juice. This guy's giving me reasons to watch this team right now, because this is frustrating, because we got to a level, we got to a peak, we got to a plateau last year, and I thought we were going to keep building, and we have not. We are now restarting, trying to rekindle, recapture those moments, and maybe it's going to be through Dillingham. Oh, that's crazy, but also thank God for Dillingham.
For sure. I mean, for real. Like, yeah, we couldn't have done anything without him tonight. I mean, I don't know what this team looks like without Dillingham in the last 2 games. Like, we would get absolutely torched by Boston. It would not have been a 2-point game. And then tonight, I mean, it could have been like a 30+ point loss. Just really gross. So yeah, I mean, there's so many positive elements to his game right now. He's still a rookie. He's still 19 years old. He's still going to make crazy mistakes in crazy situations. Like he turned the ball over. Like really, he kind of lost us the game late in the game because he coughed. With like 38 seconds left, he was just like running, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to quickly go through everybody, and then he just like loses it, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is a important game. What are we doing? But yeah. So no, it was good. A good game from him. I really, really want to give him A1, but he did have some blunders. And to be fair, the poll that I put up in the chat is 42% A1 and 33% cash. My heart is A1, but I also see cash because he did make a couple young mistakes. I think that might actually be the right answer, unfortunately. The problem is that I don't think I'm going to forget this game, which is the rule I set about A1. Because like I am going to remember the game that Dillingham changed my mind about him. You know, like I will, because like he was lobbing it up to Rudy at times. He's like, I don't know. It was just great, but I don't think I can go A1. What are you? What I can't tell what your facial expression is.
I'm just reading some of the commentary, and I'm like, Big Boy's like, A1 is crazy, and I kind of agree. We were pretty embarrassed out there tonight, and without him, we would have lost, as you said, by 10, 20, whatever amount. But I don't think A1 is it. I think it's probably an A.
You think it's an A? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely am riding high on the vibes.
Jake is saying cash is fair.
What
did Nicole want? Nicole said something hilarious. She said something so funny. If we would have been cooked belt to ass. I don't think I've ever heard that expression, and it's now
that's what
an A1. Said. That's an A1 comment.
That Bev said belt to ass to somebody. I can't remember.
That's right. That's right. He did say that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cash. I'm playing God, and I'm gonna go cash. Even though he didn't. I mean, it's not cash though, because he shot like 5 of 13.
It's not a cash game, dude. It's not, like he might have been the best player on the court tonight. I don't know if that's deserving of a cash.
He needs like an honorary tier for tonight or something, because it was just too good.
Maybe I logged in my burner account. Enemy cap is me.
Whoa.
I am enemy cap.
Yeah, that's true, big boy.
Big boy got me hype with the over-under because he's like, Rob Dillingham 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, buddy. Inject Dillingham.
Also, speaking of the over-under in the Discord, the over-under for the Wolves team points scored was 110.5, and we scored 111. It's just like,
how does he know? How does he do this?
And Randall, 3 turnovers. The over-under was 2.5.
Yeah.
Ant had 9.5 3-point attempts. That was the over-under, and he had 12, so it was pretty close. But crazy. Yeah, I guess it's an A. I need to stop treating A as a bad thing. I keep treating A to me is kind of like soft, good game. Like in my mind, I'm like, I love this. Like I love this game from him, but it really is more of just a vibe shift. So I think it's fair to go with A. Hurts my heart a little bit, but I love you, Rob, forever, even with the stupid mistakes that you made.
It's time to squabble up.
Squabble up. I don't know. I haven't listened to anything. You know more about this.
I know like absolutely nothing, but that's all I know really.
You're more hip with the kids than I am.
Dude, you know what? I am hip. Thanks, man. Did we talk about Dante DiVincenzo already? We did. Fuck.
Yeah, he's Glenn Taylor minus.
It's so upsetting. Man, I was so kind of irrationally positively excited about this year. And I am just upside down in my feelings and my thoughts, and I'm like everything that I wanted to shut down teams fans on Twitter. Like I wanted to be loud about it. Like, I want to be so stupid. Like, see, it wasn't just, and it turns out to be chemistry. It turns out to be so many other things than just talent. Rudy Gobert, 43 minutes, which is kind of crazy. 3 shot attempts. Every time the ball went to him or we tried to look for him, motherfucking God, sorry for swearing and saying God, we went to him in the first play of the fucking game. Dude, stop.
Finch needs to be fired alone for that. Like, it's crazy. Why are we forcing the ball into Rudy like this?
Forcing this Rudy Julius relationship that's just not working, man. And that just set the tone for me. I even DM'd Gerald. I was like, I'm like abandoning shit. I'm so mad at what I'm seeing. It takes Ant to shoot a 3 to get us to sit down in the court because the fans are sitting there standing. You're like, just make a fucking play, please. And we were like, no, we must feed Gobert.
Like, it's crazy. Like, honestly, if you're a sports bettor, you should go to your sports book before tomorrow's game and go and put in like first shot attempt or whatever, or first basket. And you might as well just choose Gobert because we just try to do it every single time and maybe it'll work. Or just first possession of the game turnover by Rudy Gobert. That would probably pay out well. Like, dude, it's unreal. And for a team where, you can obviously tell that Ant is somebody that needs to thrive off of just getting some makes to get in a rhythm. We don't need Gobert getting into a rhythm. Put anybody that's a shooter, just not Rudy. And then we just are determined every time to put it to Rudy. It's just so frustrating.
I'm going to say something so effing idiotic. He reminds me of 1980s before you were born basketball, man. Like you do this thing where you run a play for a big guy and they're like, oh, it's going to open up our offense. Fucking no, it's not. They're going to leave him open as they did all game. And we still can't pass him the ball. And we don't want to because he reliably can't hold on to the ball. Ping pong battles for hands. Do you see that play where the ball is in his hands and it goes off his foot and just laughs at him? Rudy looks at him. He's like, yeah, I know. You're like, wow, that's so great. It's like 5 minutes left in the fourth, man. Can't we just get a rebound?
Seriously.
Rudy Gobert, 44 minutes, 2 for 3 from the floor, including 1 dunk from Dillingham. That was awesome. Maybe the only thing he did awesomely. 16 rebounds, 5 assists. He is a defensive presence, but we couldn't tell in the third quarter when he was cooked like turkey. I think he's from Turkey. Fucking A. Probably not from Turkey. Nah, I'm just kidding. Shut up. All right, you can fire me if you want. That's fine.
You're canceled.
Cancel me. That's better.
Yeah.
5 fouls. And he probably could have had 10 turnovers that were not recorded. They were team turnovers because Gobert pays the stat stuffers.
Yeah. I do think he had a couple nice rebounds. He had one nice rebound where he over the back fouled Şengün late in the game that wasn't called, and then he got the rebound and maybe a putback. I loved that. Loved getting away with a foul. But it's just like I don't even know where to put this game because it's just so frustrating. It's like, sure, fine, you had 16 rebounds, and sure, fine, you only took 3 shots and made 2. Also, shout out to Rudy for being an 80% free throw shooter this year, even though he missed one tonight. But shout out. I don't know. Is it like a meh or D'Lo or what is it? Şengün is Turkish. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were
Oh.
saying Rudy was from Turkey, and I was like, are
No,
you
no.
crazy? Yeah.
I was saying Sengun was.
Okay. Yeah, he might be from Turkey.
He's Turkish, so I'll own up to whatever I said. If you look at the box score numbers, it just feels terrible. He's just running up and down the court, man. If you are not effective on offense, which he is not, he is taking up space. He is making it so Ant is having a harder time getting going. You need to impact the ball in every other aspect, and impact the game in every other aspect of the game. 16 rebounds is great. I don't want to praise him anymore, man.
I know.
I'm sick of it. I think kind of watching this team with like a blind eye because like I need this team to be like successful. I need to be rooting for something that makes sense. But nothing that he's doing on the court this year has made any sense. And like all of the like I've never really enjoyed Gobert until he was on our team. That was like, see?
Mhm.
Oh, Ashwin, you now know more than you did. He's that great. He needs so much help out there.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It is a team game. But he is so lost on defense sometimes. It's a little alarming that he just can't adapt to the new day of the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, the problem is that I realized tonight, and I realize every time he plays somebody like this, but he just struggles to play against players that have a low center of gravity because he is so tall and he is not really like that heavy. I mean, he's heavy because he's tall, but he's not like super strong necessarily. So like if he goes up against somebody who's like Şengün plays so low, so he's like cutting out his knees. He doesn't really have a way to do it, and that's why Jim Pete at one point in the broadcast is like, or was it? No, it was Grady. Grady's like, is it possible to just stick an arm out? Like, can you just like guard like normal? Because every time Gobert is just like tackling him, it was like it was so weird. But it's because his body just doesn't work like that.
And the offensive foul as a 31-year-old like that offensive screen, it was so upsetting. And Dillingham had a clear path to the basket, but it wasn't a result of him setting that screen. It was him like doing more for no reason. You know, it's so stupid. And yes, of course, June, thank you for reminding me. He had that killer block at the end of the game to send it in overtime and everything. That was great. That was great to see. Like we are now expecting that though, June, and like we don't see it anymore. So like his average is acceptable and honored. I don't know, man. He had a killer game against Boston, right? Like he was so aggressively, demonstrably enforcive. They were only able to score from three. You know, like that was really all happened. But I don't know, man. Tonight was a different story, and I was just really upset. And I think it's also just coupled with the fact that I'm just not liking what I'm seeing. So it's like anything he's doing, it's been exaggerated in my head. So I'm sorry, I'm over explaining myself. But I think he's old tier, and like old is appropriately below Wancho.
I think that's right. Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to read off the stats for Ant, unless you have anything else to talk about with Gobert, and then I'll just have you talk for a minute.
I'm done with Gobert.
Ant, have we talked about DiVincenzo already? I'm just kidding. Ant, 44 minutes. This is a stat line that I love to see, by the way. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. Hell yes. 8 for 22, not necessarily that great. 3 for 12 from 3, not the best. 1 assist, below form. 3 block shots. Oh my fucking god, that's amazing. He started the season like talked about as the disposer of Curry in terms of 3-point attempts and 3-point makes and all that. He has regressed back to the mean. Cameron, what do you thought about this? What do you think about his game today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this was a pretty disappointing performance from Edwards. I mean, I could talk about like shot selection because I did think he was I thought he was chucking a lot tonight, and I thought his choices were just really stupid when he was trying to take shots. Just seemed to have no flow. But honestly, it's more of like I'm just frustrated and like, how are you tired, bro? Like, how are you tired at night or what are we 17 games in the season? How are you this tired, especially when you're just shooting threes a lot of the time? Like, this isn't like last year where we were forcing you to drive and forcing you to post up and all this kind of stuff. Like, you're just kind of chucking. So this is like the whole point. Well, not the whole point, but some of the point is that this gives you a little bit more energy to go throughout the season, not get as banged up, not get as tired, so that late in season when we're really making a push, you're fine. And yes, I see people talking about the Olympics. The Olympics, yes, that is true. But also, like, still, the game that he is playing, he's also not playing like that great of defense right now. He's had a couple moments. I know he had 3 blocks tonight, but like on ball defense has been kind of wishy-washy this year. So I don't know. And it just seems like he's kind of just like it's this is one of those games. He's been really good this season avoiding this kind of attitude, what I feel like is an issue. But I just felt like his heart wasn't like in it tonight. I just think he was just kind of going back and forth, going through the motions to some degree, and not really having too much of a thought process. I don't know. I didn't love this game for me.
I think I agree with your assessment that he finds and picks his spots. He's coasting in this game. He's not like aggressive all the time. He's also passing the ball to people who aren't missing shots that might actually deflate him a little bit. Like all his effort, all his work is to see Jaden just clank threes and Gobert cough up passes,
That's true.
But when he hit that and one pump on his chest, when he hit those transition threes, dude, it's just remarkable. That first half drive, cooking Tari Eason into a layup. This is that is box office, first of all. But he is the best player on the court. But sometimes he needs to take a break. And not like Randy Moss, where he just takes plays off. But he will actively kind of sag off and be a little bit more protective of his energy, catch his breath. And I think there's merit to some of that. They do that with literally every star on every team. But you just said he's 23 years old. What is he doing? Why is he injured? Why is he hobbling? Why is he slow? Why is he taking his time 5 minutes into the game? It's okay that he lost his legs during the course of the game, but at that time you kind of have to realize that, hey, maybe who's actually getting us back into this game? Dillingham. Maybe I should find Dillingham and make him run a play for us rather than me trying to ISO our way out of this. I think the decision space is still growing, and I think he's gotten a knack for looking for more of the open man, especially on the perimeter, on the corners. That's awesome to see. Work in progress. I can't wait anymore. I'm impatient, and I'm frustrated with some of the lack of urgency to be more assertive early and always. When it's as you said, game 13, game 15, early career vibes, and Ant's trajectory can be whatever he wants it to make it. And if he's just a 3-point chucker, that's also very smart to save yourself for the fourth quarter. But then you weren't there in the fourth quarter, So I don't know.
Yeah, just frustrating. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm kind of leaning towards it sounds like some people in chat seem like they kind of liked Ant's game tonight. I feel like it was kind of a meh game for me. I mean, there were good moments, and I don't want it to be misconstrued here. I obviously love Anthony Edwards, and I will defend him to the death. But I also I think if we're basing this off of what our expectations were coming into the game, sure, were there some really fun moments? Yes, but overall, I feel like this was just kind of a meh game from him. I feel like we needed a really strong takeover from him, and the takeover was really just kind of him attempting to chuck a lot. So I don't know. I don't feel super strongly about Ant being great today.
And the stats back it up, dude. He played 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. He was 0 for 6.
Yeah.
Jaden played the entire fourth quarter, 1 for 6.
You can't have that combo. That's just so.
Dillingham surprisingly played 11 minutes in the fourth quarter, was 3 for 4. 2 assists. Do you know how many assists we had in the fourth quarter? 2 assists in the fourth quarter, both by Dillingham, and one was a lob to Gobert.
Yeah.
It's actually incredible because the Rockets, as you said to start the broadcast, just gave this game away. They looked like the Rockets of like Silas of 2 years ago, where they were just chucking and hoping and praying and plucking and waiting for someone to save them. They looked so bad out there, and we couldn't pull away.
Yeah.
Grady said it's starting to pull away. I'm like, no, you just watch. Like, then Fred VanVleet hits a 3 after shooting 10 threes, and then I think what was it? Jabari Smith hits a layup, and they're like, all right, the game's tied. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yep. Just bad. Finch, I think, is an obvious Glenn Taylor tonight.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Just bad. I don't even know. Like, last season we would go back and forth on Finch, where it would be like one game we hated him, one game we loved him. And this season, I mean, I obviously it does have to do a lot with wins and losses, but this just feels like mismanaging. It just feels like there's so much mismanagement happening, and that goes down to Finch. I don't know how he's going to fix it, but I mean, the only thing that I can give him a little bit of credit for is that he is starting to play Dillingham, which is good, and he has started to mix up the starting lineup a little bit, which I think is also good. But I do think, and to some degree, the players not playing at like. Have we talked about Dante DiVincenzo? No. Dante DiVincenzo not playing well, Randall playing pretty empty stat wise. Like, that's not so much of some of that's not a Finch problem. But yeah, so yeah.
Dude,
anyways,
it's frustrating. This is a game that really pisses me off as a fan, but also as like, I know what's possible with this team, and it's just like we're not doing the basics, and I think we're kind of trying to out hero ball. Very notably in the fourth quarter, just watch that fourth quarter. It is clearly Rob Dillingham's team and energy, and the reason why we're in this game is because of Dillingham. And then there's a timeout. We run out of timeouts, and it's now Ant and Randall's show, and Dillingham's in a corner, and we are just bricking. It's very embarrassing. It's very telling. And it's also very clear that the chemistry is fractured. We need to refine it, and we've run out of time. It is absolutely no more time to shake and figure things out. We need to it just needs to happen now. And tomorrow is a new day, but also, like, as they said on the broadcast, we think about our mistakes way more than we should. And I bet you some of what we just saw and witnessed is going to, translate on the court tomorrow, which is fucking sad, but it's going to be the reality.
Yep. That is sad. Well,
oh my God, Gerald asked a question that I don't want to answer. Is this our rock bottom, or do we have further to fall? I think we have further to fall, and I'll leave that alone.
I think we do as well. And some of that is, I mean, you look at our schedule, I guess I'm not going to leave it alone. By the way, we're out of the NBA Cup now.
Dude.
I don't know if that's official, but it feels official. We play the Kings, and then we play the Clippers. Then we play the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, and then the Warriors. Guys, we could be 8-15 in a month. Like, it could be bad. So prepare yourselves. And also the other thing, the bad thing here, even though it's so exciting to have Dillingham play, is that, even if he does earn more minutes, which I think he obviously has, that means that we've also earned the possibility of seeing more rookie mistakes. So, like, we are going to have to weather that storm along with the good, the good with the bad. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. The dawn of a new day. Wait, it's a new dawn. It's a new day, and I am not feeling good, Sam. I thought that was going to be some positive message.
It's pretty positive, honestly.
Relatively. But anyways, we are not available for tomorrow, correct? Correct. We are not here tomorrow. The Kings are going to destroy us. No, guys, when we don't stream, the Timberwolves play well. So actually, could be a pretty good game for us. Yeah, see, Zach, I think that's where me and Ashwin kind of are as well. Like what Ashwin was saying earlier is like I almost want us to be bad so that we can watch the rookies. Like I'm rooting against us in ways. But yes. Renzi, good question. I actually planned on having a giveaway for tonight, but I just got too distracted by the game. So we will have some coming up here soon, and I think we're gonna have some tickets. The other part of this is that I've wanted to make some new merch because I know we had a lot of the cash shirts last year. We still have those available in the shop, but I wanted to come up with something else like a Wolves on Top shirt or something more current. Yeah. So like, because cash is still cool and cash is timeless or whatever, but yeah, need to have something new. So we will, Renzi, for sure. And especially this year, we need it if we're going to be a bad team. So we got to have some giveaways, and we will soon. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like the stream, and we'll get some of those going. So cool. Well, I don't have anything else for tonight. Do you have anything else?
The highlight of the show, the highlight of last week, the highlight of these last few games for the Wolves have been Rob Dillingham. And so I think I can kind of rest comfortably in the fact that I think I was right. Like, I think you got to play the young dudes. I think we were right. I think you got to play the young dudes to get them experience, but also embarrassingly, they are what's right about our team right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a weird situation.
All right, we got to get the Chuck on the line.
The Chuck, I do. Give me a mic. All right, the Chuck inviting you. Yes, Crone, enjoy your holiday, everybody. Hopefully everybody has some days off of work here.
I know I do.
Yeah, if Rob doesn't get 30 minutes tomorrow, I'm done with Chris Finch. Yeah. Anyways, wow, we did under an hour show. How about that? That felt like we talked for a while, and it was only 57 minutes. Crazy.
Yeah, sorry
cool.
about that.
Anyways, it's good seeing you all. Thanks for joining. Had a lot of you here tonight. I know it's nice to be here during the pain. But yes, I don't know what that is, dystopian utopia. What the heck is that? Is it an alien? Why do we struggle with that in this year? That's a big topic. That's a big topic, and you'll have to tune in next time. I think we're available. I think I'm available Friday. I don't remember. We'll see.
It's a big maybe.
Tune into the Discord. Thank you, Nightbot. That's perfect. Discord, maybe Friday. We'll see. I don't know about Friday. We'll see.
We'll try to answer your question next show, Aunt MJ.
Yes, might be in a week, but we might. Anyways, 52 wins is still possible? ? Maybe we need some 25 win merch. 25 win merch inbound. I like it. Jazz intro as the outro. We'll see you when we feel happier. Bye.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the World Championship.
Edwards! They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.